right now. So we didn't set a goal of trying to get a sunrise takeoff. We really just want to get out here really early to get the winds. But before we start talking about the motor, Todd's gonna try and get his first sunrise flight. He's got like a couple minutes. Technically sunrise is now, but I'm not seeing anything, so it could be blocked on the horizon by fog. We'll see. It is as nil as it gets, if not a tailwind. Good luck, Todd. There it is, Todd. Woo! That's tough, man. You might not be able to tell, but that's a tailwind. That little tiny flag. Oh man, he made it! Look at that sunrise. Wow. Dude. Woo! Never flown it before. Here we go. It's like interestingly close to the back of my head.
I've never had that good a posture, I guess.
What?
I've probably never had that good a posture.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm probably not about to have good posture either though.
Smile. Woo.
You grab just the front A's on this one?
I grabbed both.
Both?
I've done either way.
Both?
I use both.
Both. Okay. Sweet.
You got any first impressions? Did it die or did you kill it?
I killed it way up there. I wanted to pull my GoPro out and get a little recording while I was up there. And man, it took forever to get down on that wing. It is boaty. I wasn't expecting that. The landing was fun. I knew it would be slippery, so I decided to skid on in, but I should probably prepare for that. We're getting close here. But man, this Gin paragliding wing is super boaty, so it's taking me forever to get down. Woo! Dude, this thing's riser twist is kind of crazy. Like, you go full power and you really feel that left lean. Like, you gotta be careful.
Familiar.
For sure, yeah. It's something you get used to and you probably get on the power real slow. I like it. I think there's definitely less feel in high hang points. Did you see how much I was oscillating?
I did.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell what you were, I thought you were trying to do that.
Sometimes I was like,
I thought you were getting set up for wingovers.
and the one time I tried it and I was like, I can't feel anything. I'll do this some other day.
The high hang points, you lose the feel?
I think I lost a little bit of feel. I think you can also lose a little bit of feel when you have a big paraglider wing too. So then you combine both and it's just like not nearly as much feel as a lower hang point or a smaller wing.
And then because of the high hang points, you said a little bit of a riser twist possibility if you're not paying attention?
Yeah, I think so, but I wonder if some high hang points have better compensation. I mean, this is an old motor, so you know, it might not compensate as well as some of the newer model high hang points. I don't know much about high hang points, but I do know you can fly it, and that's the most important thing, really, right? So we get the question a lot, like how cheap can you get into paramotoring? And I think this is maybe the epitome of cheap right here. I'm sure you can get cheaper, but this is, how much is it, Todd?
1,500,000 won.
AKA, was it really?
Yeah.
So it was less than $1,500 USD.
Yeah, I guess.
Wow, what does that convert to?
Like 1350.
Dang, I thought it was 1,500 USD the whole time. So apparently this was like 1,300 something dollars USD for this paramotor. It's interesting how we found this, because we were like, hey, let's go to an air show and just check it out down in, I forgot where it was, like Jinju? I don't know. Had no idea we were gonna buy a motor while we were down there, but we saw this guy and he knew me, I guess, from YouTube, and we asked him if he had a motor for sale, if he knew of anything, and he's like the first guy we'd ever asked. And he just so happened to have this $1,300 something motor lying around, and he's gone all around Korea on this guy, and he's a professional photographer, and he's made this photo book solely on this paramotor, but I guess it's timed out and he got a new motor and he decided he wanted to sell it, and we just got to him at the right time. Todd, oh, I can't see it. He just bought this paramotor for $1,500. He's a professional photographer and he's giving us his photo book. He took all the pictures on this paramotor when he owned it. Pretty cool. So you might wonder what you're gonna get for 1,500 bucks. We'll just say 1,500, but it was less. And here's what it is. I mean, this is a old school 125 motor. It's a Ross, right?
Yep, Ross 125.
So it's a Ross 125, not that different than the Blackhawk 125 I started from. It looks very similar. It's got the reduction drive with transmission fluid in it, and that pretty much looks the same, except this button that you're supposed to press in on starts is kind of different. This is also Todd's first motor, so he's never paramotored before. I mean, if you could do this again, do you think you would spend all the money on a brand new setup, or are you glad you spent less than $1,500 on it?
No, I was happy to train on something for cheaper, and knowing what it's like to fly a less expensive unit, now I know that I'll probably not crash the more expensive unit that I buy when I go to the more expensive unit. And yeah, knowing that I bought a older model and used, like a Ross 125, I know that parts are going to be very hard to come by. So looking into the future, I'm definitely going to look at something that is more common, more widely used in the US, so probably a Monster 185, and low hang points to get more like paragliding flying. So probably a PAP.
Yeah.
10-ox.
He likes mine.
Yes.
It is pretty. Yeah, I definitely think it's a good first motor. There's some weird things about it that might make it more difficult, like the twisting motion, and a little heavier maybe?
Yeah.
It's a little heavier than mine. Not much though.
For a 125, it's like 55 pounds dry, empty.
That's actually not that bad. But for a 125, I guess it's pretty relatable to some 185s out there.
It's really good fuel economy. But then again, I'm also flying a big Bodie wing.
Yeah. It comes apart pretty good. I mean, it's just Velcro strapped here and here, so it's easy to commute with.
It feels very smooth. How are the vibrations for you?
I didn't think the vibrations were that bad. I mean, I didn't notice really.
They don't seem bad to me.
No, they don't. What are some difficulties that you've had with this motor, like stuff you've had to fix? How much have you spent trying to fix this guy?
Next to nothing.
Next to nothing.
So the first thing we had to fix was the kill switch didn't work the first time I ever flew it. I came in, and then Mark had to take the spark plug off of here. And then to fix that, it was just cleaning up the gunk. So using a multimeter and the wires back there, and then making sure the connection was good after we cleaned it. So that was essentially free. minus the cost of buying the tool, which was only 10 bucks. And then the other thing that happened within, I think, the first long flight that me and Mark did was a screw right here. This guy fell out. When it fell out, it chipped the prop, and I learned how to fix a prop. So another good learning experience. And again, this screw right here I got from another component, because hardware stores are very hard to resource in Korea.
Which we probably could have prevented that had we checked all the bolts and maybe Loctited some of them, but...
Yep. And then since then, of course, as a new guy, I've learned to torque everything down and then put a stripe on it so it makes pre-flight faster and easier. Yeah. So another learning experience. Everything is torque striped, everything is good to go. Second thing after that was this guy. This nut, or this bolt right there, sheared off from the inside, fell out, again chipped the prop, learned how to fix it on the last time, so we fixed the prop twice. You
took that to some guys to get fixed, right?
I sure did.
How much was it?
In Cheongju, and it was, they only charged me for the parts because they were very, very good people. Also, these, I posted on the Paramotor page when I had the springs eating through the metal right here.
Yeah.
And then that was essentially free, because the welder that I took it to, when I tried to offer him some money, he wouldn't take it because it was such an easy fix. All he did was put a little bead of metal back on and filled in the gap, and it was good to go.
One downside to this unit is the whole ground starting thing. So when Todd's by himself, he puts it on that platform to secure it, or else if I'm here, I'll help him start it. But and that's, I wonder how that's fraying.
It's gonna break. I gotta replace that line now.
We cut out the fray, so it's a little shorter. Put a zip tie and tape here, so this can no longer move up or down. Greased up the starter system and removed this guy, which was the culprit for the fray, because it was just kind of sitting in here wiggling around, and the rugged edges of the plastic cut through it. So retracts better too. So total like 50 bucks or something?
Oh, since I bought it, maybe 50 bucks.
50 bucks. So that's one thing you might run into with an older unit, is having to fix random things. But 50 bucks is not bad at all.
Yeah, overall, absolutely got me into the sport, got me into paramotoring when I was already doing the free flying for very cheap. It got me into the air, flying air, you know, a working flying aircraft for less than 1,500 bucks, even after doing the tiny modifications to improve on it, and definitely worth it.
So I think the moral of the story here is that you can find stuff for cheap. I recommend maybe talking to someone more experienced, and if you do buy it cheap, get it checked out by them. And then you're gonna have little fixes here and there that you need to do. I mean, this was only like 50 bucks, so you're gonna have to be creative. And if you're not good with mechanical stuff or fixing things, then I'd say you're probably gonna get good at it, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna learn to do stuff, you're gonna ask people. But the cool thing is you can get in the air for less than $1,400 US if you're lucky enough to find a unit like this. And my girlfriend has an $800 wing, so just imagine you can get a wing and a motor for $2,200. Find a reserve, everything you need, 3,000 bucks or less all in, and then instruction. So, and maybe you'll have a friend who will teach you. He was already a paraglider pilot, so he kind of knew how to fly and everything. I just had to get rid of those bad habits of paragliding where you want to launch chest forward and try to lean back instead, and he did really good. How much was your reserve, if you don't mind me asking?
This is the G-Lite from Jin, the big one, G39 I think, and it was like 300 bucks.
So you basically got into paramotoring for about $1,700 extra because you already had the wing. There you go. Gotta know people sometimes.
Like Mark Honeycutt.
Yeah.